and welcome back to Cowabunga Corner. In this episode of Cowabunga Corner, we are doing our season interview with fans, getting as many people as much as we can to be a part of this blog. Because the more fans, the better it is, right? Every one of us brings something different and something unique to the fandom, and we all deserve a chance to get our stories out there. So find out more from these turtle fans what has inspired them to be a part of this fandom. How did you become a turtle fan?
Oh gosh. I think it was the 2001 series that I saw when I came home from school one time when I was in like 4th grade, and I saw it and I'm like, oh, this is so dumb, and then I watched it and it was super interesting episode, and then I got hooked and now I can't get enough.
The first cartoon series was my first introduction to Ninja Turtles.
Well, Ninja Turtles actually started before I was born, so when I was little, it was kind of always around. A lot of the boys at school liked it. Some girls did too. So I guess it was just kind of, my mom used to watch the show when she was pregnant with me and my sister. So I guess like it's always been around, and it's just appealing, you know. The characters, the funny, the cartoon, just all of it.
I became a turtle fan. Well, I was just, I don't know, probably 4. I watched the 4-Kid series, and then I watched the movies.
Turtles, I'm not sure. I was real young back. It came out around 88, 89, so I was like in 1st grade. So any cool cartoon on TV I looked at, and Ninja Turtles were everywhere back then.
We had limited cartoons overseas, so on Saturday my friend, I think it was Amanda, and I were watching TV, and it would say the name of each cartoon coming up next, and the next one said Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and we were both like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Okay. And then when the song came on, I was hooked.
Oh, the majority of everybody. When you're like, 6, 7 years old, and you're got my older brother who watched it a lot on TV, and then I was just, attached as soon as it happened. And then the movie, you watch the movie for the first time, and you're like, whoa, as a kid. And then it's one of those series that keeps moving on. As soon as you get older, it never dies.
I first heard of Turtles when I was 5 years old, and I went into my first comic book shop. I was browsing through all different types of comics, X-Men comics, all the other various superhero comics. But the one that stood out to me the most was the Ninja Turtles, because they were animals, they were creatures. They weren't just regular humans with superpowers. They were anthropomorphic turtles. The way they looked appealed to me. The fact that they were ninjas, appealed to me. It just overall drew my attention in, and from there I bought the books, or asked my dad to buy the books, I should say.
Okay, well, I started watching the classic cartoon, and then from there I watched the movies, and I fell in love with the characters.
Who is your favorite turtle and why?
Definitely Leonardo, because he's my favorite color, and and he is like a leader, and he takes control, and I like that a lot. And he's just, I don't know, I just really like him.
Raphael was always my favorite, but I was Donatello. I always wanted to be the fighter, but I was the nerd.
I love Mikey. I can relate a lot to him because he's funny. He's kind of peppy and kind of awkward at the same time. I relate to him a lot, and he's just so funny. And
Raphael, probably because he reminds me of myself. Very low patience, high temper, I don't
Leonardo. Because Leonardo, he is the most serious turtle.
Okay, what's the mix between two? Like in the cartoon, I like Michelangelo because he was so laid back and funny and stuff like that. And then in the first Ninja Turtles movie, my favorite was Raphael because he had the tough attitude, and I can kind of relate to him now in my adult years. he's no pushover, and that's kind of like my personality too. So
Mikey is my favorite turtle because he likes to have a lot of fun, and what are you thinking? Yeah.
Michelangelo, because he was the party dude. You know, everybody. I was a huge energetic kid, so I always loved Michelangelo because he was the rebel. Didn't care. He just wanted to have fun.
Michelangelo, he's the most outrageous, fun-loving, just most cool guy to be with. He's almost like, your best friend that you always love to hang out with. The one that always brings the energy, the excitement. I mean, no matter what situation, no matter how bad you're feeling, he always seems to be the one that's, ready to just brighten your mood and just brighten your day and just, make the best out of any situation. So Mikey has to be my favorite.
My favorite turtle is Michelangelo. I always felt like more connected, or I just thought he was really funny, and I also sometimes like Raphael. I don't know, I go in between, but I like them all. In some ways, I like all of them.
What is your favorite turtle movie and why?
I saw the 2007 movie with her, and I dragged her to it with me, and I really liked the voice acting and the plot line, and I really liked the confrontation between Raphael and Leonardo. That was really cool. So
Ninja Turtles 1 is my favorite movie because I could never recapture that experience. 2 I loved because Ernie Reyes Jr. was in it, but 1, just seeing the Ninja Turtles on the silver screen in live action was a thrill.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze. And probably because it has Kino in it, and that's probably like one of my favorite characters in all of the Turtle movies.
All 4 of them.
My favorite Ninja Turtles movie has to be the first one, because it was kind of a mixture with the old comic books and then the 80s cartoon. It had some funny scenes, wasn't too goofy, but it had like that dark feel to it, and the storyline was good, the characters and everything, and it just brings back old memories for me.
My favorite Ninja Turtle movie is the first one because I really enjoyed the introduction that they gave the turtles, and just seeing them looking like they were live and not just cartoons on a screen. At my age, and it looks like they were real. That was a thrill.
Number 1, of course, because it's the original. Mainly because first time seeing it, you're like, holy moly, turtles in real life. I wish they could be, standing right next to me. But it's the first movie, of course, I saw, so it became the favorite.
Number 1, hands down. Reason being, I love the original. I love the original comics. I love the fact that they were dark, that they were gritty, and me having lived in New York, I could relate to just the atmosphere, the just the darkness. But the fact that you had the turtles in that universe, and that at times they took on that dark persona of the city, but they also had a bright side to them too, and they had an air of the terminology's not coming to me, but they had an air of hilarity and just fun, as well as we had to have a city, and we have a duty to uphold. The first movie had all that in it. It had the fun, had the family values, it had the it just had everything for me. The action was definitely there, but I loved the connection between Raph and Splinter throughout that whole movie. I loved his struggle. I loved Leo and Raph's struggle throughout that whole movie. I loved Donnie and Mikey's camaraderie in that movie. That movie just, and I'm trying to hold back the tears, the movie just had everything for me. When I saw it in the theaters, it was hands down my favorite movie. I love the other movies, but the first one will always be my favorite.
My favorite movie would be Secret of the Ooze, and the reason I like that movie the best is I like the costumes the best. So basically that's the reason why I like that one, but I like all of them. So.
What is your favorite item in your collection and why?
I have, from the 2013 TV show, I have pillows of all of their heads, and my mom bought them for me for college, so those are going with me. And it's just like these throw pillows that are like this big, and it's got everyone with their masks and stuff on, so those are pretty cool. I'm glad I snagged them before they were out.
Probably the box set of the cartoon series, just so I can revisit it whenever I want. It's nice to have that opportunity.
My Raphael 4Kids action figure, because he's my favorite turtle.
My Ninja Turtles.
My favorite merchandise that I own now, I just recently picked up the Technodrome playset a few months ago. I got from Craigslist for a good price, and it's just it's a fun piece, a great display piece too. It's large and have my figures around it, and yeah, I had the movie star Turtles figures. Those are my favorite figures right there, and also the Storage Shell Turtles.
It's a set of a lot of the newer shot glasses. I have most of the shot glasses that have come out, and I display them in my little shot glass holder.
It's the Raphael Psy from when I was a kid, doing the costumes for Halloween. I still have the original plastic Psy. Now the handle's not red anymore, it's turned pink from years of usage, but it still sits up on my shelf because I love that thing.
The original figures, the original Ninja Turtle figures, I remember first holding them. I remember being in Toys R Us and telling my dad, please get me these figures, because you know these are the turtles. I want to take them home with me. I remember getting them and just opening them out of the package and just like staring at them in my hands for a good while. I'd pose them up in all these different poses. I wanted so badly, I remember, to have like a ton of Foot Soldier figures, so I could just have that whole scene with the turtles back to back and just surrounded by Foot, and just like, that whole brotherhood camaraderie, just, taking them all out effortlessly. I love the original figures. I love my original figures probably the most.
That's really hard. I like sketches I've had done by Kevin and by Michael Dooney. I really like Michael Dooney poster I have that's signed by him.
Do you have any messages you'd like to say to the other turtle fans?
Rock on! Like, don't be ashamed of it, because it's so cool, and it's gonna be really big. I know it is, and just keep going with it, I guess. And I'm glad you like it too.
Take any opportunity that you have to encounter Michelle. It's been an honor. Just seeing some of the pieces of her collection was a life-affirming experience that I really can't speak to that experience enough. Just encountering something like a vial of ooze or Leonardo or Michelangelo's head was just this goosebump-inducing honor. So I'm very appreciative of that. So if you have the opportunity, please check out her collection.
Cowabunga!
Cowabunga?
Keep your spit up and don't let any of the villagers down.
Yep.
Cowabunga!
There you go.
Don't give up on your dreams or the fandoms. Just because things die down a little bit doesn't mean it's not going to come back with a bigger bang someday.
Cowabunga, dude. It'll never die. We'll always have a good series, hopefully, in the future. I haven't watched the new stuff, but I'll try, and I'll try to be, back into it, and let's get some pizza. Let's do this.
I appreciate all Turtle fans. I appreciate fans in general, but I especially appreciate, Turtle fans for the fact that no matter where I go, no matter who I meet, there's always a Turtle fan somewhere. But it seems like a lot of us, we're not about, who has this or who has that, but I mean, we all can come together and share like our experiences of what drew us into Turtles to begin with, and we can all laugh, and we have something different to bring to the table to this whole fandom, and I appreciate that. I appreciate every Turtle fan, and I hope that we all can just continue to be the best fan base, just society, in general. I want us to continue doing that, and I look forward to just meeting and talking and just interacting with every single turtle fan out there. So yeah, I just say thank you to all the turtle fans.
Throughout the fandom, I met some great, amazing friends, and I've had a great time, and hopefully, they'll stick around for the new show so we can keep talking about it and having a fun time. This is April O'Neil with Channel 6 News signing off.
I hope you guys enjoyed this awesome Interviews with Fans episode, as we are always looking for more people to take part in these interviews. Let us know if you're going to be at any of the events that we are going to. We list our events on TMNTL.com. We list events on our Facebook website, and sometimes we let people know where we're going on CowabungaCorner.com as well. But TMNT-L is the best area to know which events I'll be at, and my camera's always with me. We would be happy to have you on Cowabunga Corner. Next week, I get to sit down and interview Mark Bodie for all the awesome work that he has done with Ninja Turtles. We have built up to this interview throughout the season with showing his artwork in the Bronx and even talking about how I got my Ninja Turtle tattoo. Now, find out from himself how he became part of Ninja Turtle history. Cowabunga!
I'm Mark Bodie. I'm one of the original Ninja Turtle artists that worked on Volume 1, and I'll be on Cowabunga Corner next week.